How's it going, everybody? Oh, come on, you. I know you work. I passed. There we go. Oh, this can definitely go down a bit. So, how's it going, Jay? Also, you're bad. You're garbage chocolate. Although really, all chocolate is garbage chocolate, which is why Crunch is so good, because it's one of the least chocolate things. So, Jacksmith. This is a game... Hey, VD knows! Archivist of Culture there. This game... I used to play this game on Armor games all the time. Yeah, it didn't work. I wonder if it's because... Oh, yeah, it's because the stream bot wasn't in. I used to play this game on Armor games all the time, and for some reason, they decided to port it to Steam. Not that I'm complaining, mind. Is my Viato acting up again? Just to be safe. This is one of the... It really was. This is one of the games that, whenever I'm actually genuinely stressed out, whenever I'm in a bad way, this is one of the games I come back to. I mean, as you can... I only have 6 hours in it, but... I'm working on everything. But for now, we'll make a new one. Meet Jacksmith, a very talented blacksmith, and his furry apprentice, Scout. Jacksmith enjoyed his job, but horseshoes and hinges weren't paying the bills. Across the lowlands lived the royal Plumpfeather family. King Plumpfeather and his wife Hildred have ruled over the land for many years. Beyond Alpine Ridge lived a lonely wizard named Dudley. He was obsessed with the king's beautiful daughter Liliana. Using his powerful phoenix staff and a barrage of elemental spells, Dudley kidnapped Liliana and amassed an army of vile creatures. The king set a reward for any brave soul who could save his daughter. Jacksmith, who desperately needed the money, packed up the forge and hit the road to save Princess Liliana. Very simple story, but again, remember, could craft a flawless weapon, but using one was not a specialty, so he's gonna need some help. Remember, this was just a Flash game, so... And Scout will report what's ahead. For now, it's all neutral. But that's because this is just a still tutorial here. Yep. Take the order. He wants the pig. Pigs are always sword. You'll be able to tell just by their animal. So pigs, always swordsmen. I'm not going to bother reading the tutorial. I know what I'm doing. Heat the bellows to make it go faster. It does say you can't pour too fast, but I mean, you have to try really hard to get it to actually spill. And you just hammer it on down. I just wanted to do something else that was indie today. Something a little more low-key and relaxing. This is always the worst part. The one thing I can never tell when it comes to the crafting or the handles is do you forge it based off what it should be or what it is? You know what I mean? So if I miss, am I supposed to? And you can also preset orders because I know it's going to be another swordsman. Do I adjust it or no? I think I don't. But you can make some abominations in this game. Yeah, today's gonna be a very relaxing day. Yeah, it's essentially the better you do with the handle, the better the durability of the sword. Oh, it's incredibly adorable. And it scratches that itch of crafting. And I let this overheat. Get that out of here. And it's so low stress, too. Because you don't have a time limit. I know you see that green bar ticking down over to the left, but that's just a bonus time. You can literally take as long as you want. And I've always had a love affair of blacksmithing. I think blacksmithing is one of the coolest things in the world. And just for the sake of showing it, we're gonna make a fuck-ass handle. There we go. There you go. He looks so enthused. If you complete the day quickly, you get a bonus. Soldiers are going to battle. How well you built decides how well they'll do. And every time they get hit, they drop more loot. It really is just that relaxing. Thing is, the worse you build the sword, the worse they'll do. I'm gonna make an actual real garbage weapon next time, just to show off how bad it can get. Defeat all the monsters and you get a new recipe for an epic one. It does. It should be in the description. I think it's only like $5. And as you see, we're gonna get an axe as well for here. Notice we now have a design, but we can't make it because we don't have iron yet. I am genuinely not a fan of bows. Betting there's going to be a swordsman, so we're just going to get that going. Yes, for those who don't know, thank you, Jay. For those who don't know, Breath of Fire 4 was put on Steam. By all means, grab it. Y'all know how much we love that game on this channel. Speaking of which, I did put this in the Discord, but for those who aren't in the Discord or just didn't see it, Graveyard Keeper is on sale for free. But it's one of those, you know, get it now, keep forever. So if you're at all interested in it, grab it. There we go. Look at that. Now, I don't know why the bows are also made of metal. Thing is, you really can't fuck up swords. No problem, baby. I like keeping an eye open for people. That's why I made a whole channel in the Discords just around letting people know when there's sales or freebies. Oh, shit. It was too late. It doesn't have the DLCs, I will warn you of that. But, I mean, hey, free game's a free game. This is, to be honest with you, the other reason I wanted to do this stream is not only to show it off, not only just to relax a little bit. This is as close to a talking stream as I'm willing to do right yet. Like a just sit down and talk with the chat, you know? So yeah, any questions you got, while I normally have them in the Discord so I can shamelessly exploit them for shorts. Yeah, just answering today. Let me grab my list there, Jay. And yeah, oh right, unfortunately. Any click, this is one of those, if you click off it, it doesn't run. But I'm gonna get my list. So, come on. Right now, I have a couple of games that I'm really looking at in order. I think I'm gonna do Guardian Crusade next. Another old, very, very niche indie game. Not indie game, but PlayStation. Retro. Jesus. How much would... well, the woodchuck would... let's see, a woodchuck no amount of wood if a woodchuck could chuck wood, I think it was. I don't know that back and forth that well yet. But if a woodchuck could chuck amount of wood, what amount of wood would a woodchuck chuck? For someone who's only heard it secondhand, I'd like to think that wasn't bad. As for Jay's question, I'm looking over it. I do want to do the Metal Gear Solid run. Yep. Bye, guys. Yeah, see, even failing isn't failing. Oh no, I didn't get the item. Oh well. A woodchuck couldn't chuck wood, any amount of wood, because a woodchuck can't chuck wood. That's right. That's the bit I forgot. I get what you mean. And then there's this bald ass. I got some things in stock if you want to buy anything. And he just follows you. But we should have enough to get our armor piercer. And here's our lucky recipient now. Thing is, the better the metal, the longer it takes to heat, so that gives you more time to do stuff in between. Honestly, hell no. Not for streaming purposes. That's challenges for me. I'd probably just do a casual run. Let's see though. I've also got, I want to do a playthrough of Battleborn story mode. Because I do have the community remake. Not remake, but like the removal, the revival. There's the word. I do have the community revival. So I think I'd like to do that at some point, because I will always be the biggest Battleborn stan. I will be the one that screams that we got robbed thanks to Overwatch. Speaking of getting robbed, you bastard. You bastard. There we go. And I really want to show people why, like, what they missed. Rub it in their face. This is what we could have had, but y'all chose loot boxes and Tracer's flat ass. CDK. I think everyone did, Ranter. I think that is the most, like, that is the story. It was even worse if you got it secondhand. So it's like, it's on the back of the CD case. I don't have a CD case. But looking back, like, now knowing what Kojima turned into, it was probably our first hint that Kojima is completely insane and desperately needs to be controlled. So any epic weapon designs will give a buff to every single soldier. So they're worth crafting. There we go. And you don't have to just use basics. I'm just doing it right now because I'm, you know, being lazy. My favorite Metal Gear Solid story, specifically 1. He does. Genius Kojumbo does need someone to babysit. He needs someone sitting behind him to slap his hands off the keyboard. Also, now, we got a cannonball, so we can help. It's like, there was an April Fool's article the other day, which I hate April Fool's, but talking about how Kojima was very mad at Capcom because he had entered the Mega Man Creative Robot Master contest. And he got mad at them for denying whatever his robot was. And he said honestly that's what inspired me to do oh my god, FedEx, Death Stranding. Because and he goes, if you look at my body of work, you could start to see it. Hot Cold Man, Die Hard Man. I've always been a big Mega Man fan. And the thing is, it is so fitting to his level of ego and insanity. I firmly believed it. Hey, we got an axe. Let's see, though. Other than Battleborn, I do want to do Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross at some point. Because those are just the RPGs. Let's see, what did I get? Ooh, Electrice. That's a nice sword. Oh, no, no, no. Don't quit. Back the game. Yes, I know I can craft axes. Thank you. Well, we don't know what's coming, so. And don't get me wrong, I love Kojima. I do love the games he's made over the years. And they have a lot of good memories for me, but yeah, he needs to be controlled. He's insane. Honestly, I never played Chrono Trigger as a kid. The first Chrono game I played was Chrono Cross, which is, hilariously, Matthew's favorite. I think my next axe is going to intentionally be a bad one. Just because, again, axe is where you can start doing some stupid shit. Oh, quit coming over! You know what? There we go. So we're gonna make some dumbass nonsense. There we go. It's an axe. Here you go, buddy. Here's your axe. He looks horrified. I don't care, win or lose. Who cares? I do know the first time I played, and I'll get back to you, Jay. The first time I played Chrono Trigger, I was so upset because when I got Magus, I'm going into battle with this. When I got Magus, I, of course, you know, as any kid would, launched him into my party and never took him out. So it was only years later that I learned that triple techs were a thing. Because Magus is the only character in that game I like. Yeah, then quit coming over. And yeah, all the time, Jay. I have some from Titanfall, which is another game on my list, by the way. Titanfall 2. The story mode, anyway. I love you can see him using it. And it's already almost broken. The one that was in my head all day the past 2 days, as I've been playing Shadow Hearts, for some reason, is Devil May Cry 1. Which is in the final battle when you're fighting Mundus. He says something along the lines of just like, strange that once again I must fight a Sparta, or something like that. And Dante's reaction is strange and ironic that it'll end the same way. And that was the line that was just going nuts in my head yesterday. Dagger axes. Oh, I think I've seen those. Never heard them call it a dagger axe, though. To get back to... Okay, hold on. Yes, 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 I will get you your axe. And I will not make an abomination this time. Fill your dark soul with light. Much like Mega Man X, like, that's actually a genuinely good, strong scene ruined by the voice work. Alright, you are getting a real axe. There you go. I've also got... Let me see. At some point, when I get a little bigger, kind of around the time I want to bring back Monday night money fights. And for the record, I am still looking at that. I just want to give you guys something other than voice, the redeems, to use the points on. You can't stop him, Jay. He's a mod, too. But yeah, I do want to do Monday Night Money Fights again. With or without a guest, you know. But at some point, I do want to do Fallout 4. Not the gameplay. I do not want to do a game run-through of Fallout 4. What I want to do is arenas and raids. Where basically I'll set up survivors, I'll name them after the chat, all that good stuff. And then just let loose raiders, or make them fight each other for our amusement, or set them up against random animals from the wasteland. I think that'd be really fun. I mean, who doesn't want to see themselves dying at the hand of a Deathclaw, right? Let's see. I already mentioned Guardian Crusade, mentioned Legend of Legaia and Dragoon. Similarly, RimWorld. Once we get just a couple more, I might do some RimWorld. Not necessarily, maybe a full playthrough where we actually try and escape the planet. It'd give me a good reason, a good excuse to sit down and learn the game, you know? And if I really wanted to be a shit, I could use Prepare Carefully to do what Ranter's saying and base those survivors off real life. I am going to do Shadowrun Hong Kong here shortly. I don't know when. I know it's not my next game, but pretty soon I do want to do Shadowrun Hong Kong. It is not my favorite. I'm biased because dragons. But Dragonfall is very good, but it is just a phenomenal game. In addition, once we get to the 300, and that is why I'm holding this playthrough up, I want to open up a Starbound universe. Because I adore Starbound. And we'll all kind of pick just a general region of the universe to go in. Because Starbound is actually infinite. I think they said it's got like... I don't know, what was it? It was like... Jake, can you find that for me? Because I know it's like, it's an equation. It's like 10 million to the 8th power, or to like the 80th power or something. It's some insane number of possible planets. You losers. Pig roast. Let's see. So what I want to do, like I said, is open up a universe and then go through the main story of it. Thank you, Vivi. Yes. 422.22 quadrillion possible planets. So yeah, we'd have to pick a region of the universe to kind of to base ourselves around. Yes, I see you. You're a prat. And then I would do a main story run of Starbound. And the reason I want to wait until we have an open server is because I love the idea of me stumbling onto other people's planets, other people's worlds, you know? We would have to make like a house rule of don't base yourself out of the ship, because that's my biggest complaint with Starbound is there's absolutely no reason not to build on your ship. At which point building on the planet becomes absolutely worthless. So if we, you know, all promise to, you know what, we're going to build on the planet, we're going to set up our bases, we're going to do that. And then as I'm playing through the main story, I can run across your guys' bases. We're the princes of the universe. I know it, but I haven't heard it in such a long time. I'm actually very curious as to what race y'all would pick. Jay, I already know which one you would. Shut up. And Jay knows my race of choice. There you go, buddy. Oh, no, no. Got it. Let me stretch this bow out, and I'll get back to my list here. Let's see. After Starbound, I've also got Thousand Arms, which is, well, hilariously, another blacksmithing game. And on that topic, I do want to play through Bladesong for you guys when it comes out. Because it is in early access right now, but these days, I'm starting to get away from playing early access games as much as I can. And it's nothing... There's a little bit of it because I tried to be a playtester. And they've really annoyed me by, you know, not paying playtesters and just doing early access. Oh, yeah, that'd be fun, too. Oh, shit, wasn't paying attention. I would love that, because I love poker. I've actually played a charity poker game before. Anyway, and hell, the other thing is if we do get a Starbound, I would love to get everybody together and do a big band performance. Because for those many of you who've never played Starbound, yeah, you can actually collect instruments in universe. And one of the things you can do is you can have like a song list, and if everyone picks the same song, you actually play it as a unit. And I just think that's one of the coolest features in the game. Let's see, oh yeah, Bladesong. Once that comes out of early access, it's Jacksmith, but way more advanced. It's just, here's a 3D render of a sword, make it, go. Let's see. Yes, at some point Jay will somehow convince me to do a fishing stream. He thinks he can pay me to do it, but I'm not that well. I'm a pricey whore, thank you. All right. Yes. Come on. I mentioned Titanfall 2. Another game I'd like to do, and this one I don't know how long it'll take. I want to play through Wasteland 3. Specifically 3. I like Wasteland 2, but that is... No, Ranter, shut up. Nobody wants a fishing stream. I'm telling you what you want, and you don't want a fishing stream. Playing through... Everyone, I mean, kind of whatever happens. If anyone wants to jump in, but you remember the main story, Jay. So much of the main story, like all the dungeons, are solo events. So it's not like we can really work together all too much. Still nothing. Well, now I definitely want a fishing stream. Huzzah Defiance, or what is it? ODD, Operational Defiance, or Oppositional Defiance, that's it. So yeah, if some other people are on, that's because I kind of put it in the FAQ when I first started. When people are like, oh, can I jump in your games? It's like, look, if I'm playing an open game, I have no problem with people rolling up and and being on stream. But and that includes that, let's put some in there. Yeah, shields are the dumbest in my opinion because you just paint it. Somehow this is affecting the durability of the shield. Fishing planet. Oh, in a Discord call? Maybe. Maybe I might do something with that. Who knows? That's a ways off though, I think. I mean, that's, 110 subs, so that's the east side of never. Another retro game, oh, now it's retro, but it's the absolute classic, is I want to do a Vampire the Masquerade run. I don't know when, I don't know what run, I don't know when, anything like that. But I think that'd be a really fun playthrough. Because that is such a good game that tragically so few people have played. And it's one of those games that it's like, hey, every time someone talks about Vampire the Masquerade, someone installs Vampire the Masquerade. So whoever decided to install it, you're welcome. We will set this up. Yeah, let's deal. Why not? After that, and this is another one that I'm going to be doing fairly soon, probably after Guardians Crusade, honestly, is one of my favorite games of all time. A major game from my childhood, and one of the, two mech series that I actually enjoy. Well, I call it a series, but it had one game. Vanguard Bandits. Yeah, I know, right? The minute that you realize that the PS3 is considered retro, and you just melt. They did, but I've never been a fan of classic Resi. If you guys are interested in Resident Evil games, I can kick you over to Macchiato. That's all her. Although I will say, when Mercenaries comes out for Requiem, I might come back to it. Come on, you. You can usually get kind of an idea based on the string. The string will light up when it's fully taut. I'm being a bit of a perfectionist here. There we go. Good enough. Yeah, I'm being a perfectionist. Good enough. There is, but right now, I think the big reason I'm holding off on doing VR is the headset is kind of giving me trouble. Might be getting to end of life. So I'm waiting a little bit to get the Quest 3 at some point. Also, I'm not gonna lie, doing Walking Dead hit me with such bad VR sickness that I stopped playing VR entirely for a while. But I do know Hitman Contract should be coming out soon, and that's a game I've been looking forward to for a long time. Jay, you actually... No, wait, you don't have VR. Hitman Contracts might catch your interest because it was originally a Half-Life mod. It was a mod for Half-Life Alyx that they just made into a full game. Where you were just John Wick. It's effectively what Hitman Contracts is you're just... You're VR John Wick. In addition, you guys at chat have highly recommended I play through Vagrant Story, and I still have the note, do not pause prologue. Let's see. In addition, I do have a couple of marathon ideas here. I mean, I'm gonna have to do one here if we get 10 more. Excuse me, 11 more. Riverhoof. What, well, I can actually get rid of the Mega Man series because I'm still doing that now. I wouldn't mind marathoning Donkey Kong Country because that's a series I can beat inside of like 5-6 hours. Ooh, there we go. Strong sword. That is an ugly ass handle, but... Alright, so do not, under any circumstances, touch steel. There's also, like, one thing I would like to do, and I have this set up, I have this, like, listed here, is a marathon day where I just grab a bunch of... Oh, banana. Where I grab a bunch of free-to-play games, and we just take a look at them and we go, hey, are any of these worth a damn? Not demos, but, like, genuinely made to be free-to-play. Only problem with that is so many free-to-play games are MMOs, so that becomes a problem. Or we go to itch.io and just grab anything. That's probably actually a better idea, you know? I'll actually make a note of that. Let's make a gold axe, because that makes absolute sense. And not at all because of golden axe. You guys can see, by the way, why this game here is my cozy game. It's not a traditional cozy game, but it is something that just, it puts me at ease. I like making weapons. It reminds me, in a way, of the good times of Final Fantasy XIV. When just sometimes I'd have a day, come home and just sit in the middle of Limlo and just craft, just all day. But that's all of the games I have on my stream list right now. It's not to say I won't think of other games. Like, I do know, and I haven't written this down, so let me pop this on the list right now. I do want to do Beautiful Joe, too. Because Beautiful Joe is a phenomenal game, and more people should see it. Where'd the sword go? Oh, right, he's new. Okay, no, I'm... Beautiful Joe is phenomenal. I'm so mad that that franchise died. I'll be honest, whenever I see a good transformation, my brain still thinks of Henshin a Go-Go, baby. That can close. Yes, save. Go away. And I've been thinking about also, like I said, y'all have told me that you want me to do occasional just bullshitting streams, you know? And when I hear talking streams, my brain goes to tier lists. So, I am trying to harass Maffy into making a couple more expressions for the sake of, say, a waifu tier list or some such. But you know what? I think that'd be a good time. How did that not get a Fox Kids suit? No, it did. There was a Beautiful Joe Kids show. I remember it. Matter of fact, give me a second. Why not? Let's take a short break. Hey, Matriarch is still going. No, not that one. I need to play Arc Knight. I do. Was this it? Where is it? It's gotta be here. Well, here's one of the openings. Yeah, opening 1, opening 2. Okay. Yeah, this was it. Don't do it. There's 400 plus characters. Oh, good lord. I just meant Enfield. Yeah, here. Take a look at. Let's take a look at this. Take a look at this. Make sure that's all. This is the most 90s shit that came out. I think there you go, Rancher. Although, how do you justify using Alistair considering? That's enough taunting the copyright gods. I actually didn't know that it was a sequel, but every time I saw Art Knight character designs, I thought they looked so good. So I'm so happy that Enfield's out. I just need to make time to play it. And, you know, except that I'm going to be a free-to-play player, and thus I'm not going to see, like, 80% of those character designs. But all the factory gameplay I keep seeing you and Rock post, or, well, not you and Rock, but that I keep seeing Rock post, it just, oh, it looks so good. Like I said, this game is so relaxing. Yeah, no humans. Shit, that's the most tempting thing I've heard about the game. And here's where things get interesting too. It's not that they've been bunk, it's just you know me, Jay. I need to be in the right mood to do something, and or I can make both of these, but these are all worthless. And or I need to be thinking about, okay, but would this be good for me to stream personally? You know what I mean? No, I always check your suggestions, and I always appreciate them. Though I do say you should try streaming. There ain't nothing wrong with it. You've already got more experience than most people, than a lot of people that go in blind. Besides, if I can do it, fucking anybody can. I almost had 200 people willing to listen to me run my mouth, alright? Again, if I can do it, anybody can do it. There we go. I will warn y'all, if I see Pyrite come into the stream, I am going to start making some fuck-ass garbage just to upset him. Because that amuses me. Especially if I start getting spears. Or worse, maces. Swords and shields you can't really mess up, but oh god, you can do some... garbage. Ugh, God, I hate those sounds. I do the same. We're monsters, Vivi, you and I. Oh, this is your passion? Oh, don't worry about it. What's that? And you do see what I mean, that eventually, and Vivi, you know, that eventually you can start jumping around to do multiple tasks at the same time. Apparently, another game a lot of people grew up with was Papa's Pizzeria. And I get the feeling this is my Papa's Pizzeria. There we go. It really is. It is just straight up orc thinking. Paint good, paint strong. But other than that, like I said, this is why I'm so uncomfortable doing talking streams, because that means the attention's on me, not the game, and I don't like it. I do know, and I talked to Sam about this today, I do know that at some point here soon, I am going to get a hold of the upgraded Vtubing, of the full version of Vtubing. And me and Maff are going to see if we can't upgrade at least my model, since she's now got a full, granted chibi, but a full model. Being perceived as hard. You know, it's a reverse cognition hazard, that's what it is. It's like anytime... Now I want to see that SCP. Wait, no, it does exist. Shy Guy. Well, I mean, Shy Guy is both a cognition hazard and a cognition, victim. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. While I know a little bit about SCP, most of my knowledge comes secondhand from Maffy. Yes, I know. Thank you. Alright. I need grip GP. Really, I would love to get strong sword, but I don't think he has enough. I don't think he has anything I need. You know. So. The other thing Math has been trying to talk me into doing, she thinks it'd be a good idea, is for me to do a karaoke stream. And that just makes it sound like she's trying to get me banned, alright? I don't know what I did to offend her that she thinks that or rather, what y'all did to make her think that me singing in front of a crowd is a good thing. Yeah, what did they do to you, Maffy? Huh? Second that it's a terrible idea? Thank you, Vivi. I'm glad you understand. Look, y'all ain't getting a full karaoke stream. At most, I will do... Yeah, and she burns the fucking kitchen down. There's a reason I'm the cook around here. At most, y'all are getting a song video or two. And I do want to do dubs. Something Witty Entertainment the other day put out a casting call that they were looking for more people. And I got so excited, but then I remembered I don't actually have a demo. I don't have a demo reel. So For a minute, I thought about just cutting up all of my attempts at voice acting in, you know, in games. But instead of that, I think it'd just be smarter for me to start doing dubs, which would also fill up shorts quite nicely. On that note, by the way, this is the last month of my 90-day challenge. I might actually already be done with it, but I'm just gonna finish out April just to be safe. And I've been thinking about what I'm gonna do after that. Like, if I'm going to suddenly stop doing, you know, short content every day, and honestly, I don't think I will. I think I'll try to do, you know, at least a short a day. Because it's not all that bad. You get used to it, you know? The only thing is, I tried learning DaVinci today. Yeah, that shit's not happening. I'm sorry. I know it's because I'm set in my ways, because I picked up on Filmora first, but DaVinci just, it's like staring into the human brain, alright? That's just not gonna happen. Although, I do know some absolute buffoons who've learned DaVinci, so if they can do it, so can I. Spite, boys and girls, it's a powerful motivator. That is genuinely one of the hardest parts of Eevee. It's just like, okay, but what do I do? Because when I was like, oh yeah, do 30 days, and all that is like 40 shorts, that's no problem. And then I'm sitting here staring at my notepad like, wait, hold on, what do I do? I don't have that many funny moments. I forget the math, because I was like, I'm gonna, if I do my normal schedule of it would be 3 shorts a week, 12 weeks, so 30, yeah, about 40 shorts. And yeah, you'd think that'd be easy, but I tell you, looking at my shorts is some of the most demoralizing shit in the world to me. Not because it's not doing well. In fact, just the opposite. A lot of my shorts are doing surprisingly well, you know, 1,000 plus. But what's demoralizing about it is the shorts that I look at and I'm like, this is really good. I put effort into this, or I think this is really, really funny. They get in like the single hundreds, which is still really good. Don't misunderstand. But then I do something like just, you know what my most popular short in the past 90 days has been? It's been the short that I said, hey, I'm doing my birthday. Hey, I'm taking today off because it's my birthday. Or, hey, I'm not doing great, so I'm taking today off. Those are my 2 best shorts, was me saying I'm not doing content. What the fuck am I supposed to take of that? Hey, you know what your best content is? When you don't make content. Yeah, the cows love spears. And I know that's not what's happening, you know. I'm fully aware, but it's just, it's funny to me. And yeah, 100%. In and out, 15 minutes. I know, by the way, that I should just buckle down and commit to learning DaVinci because it's so much better than Filmora. And it's free. But I'm just being a big baby, that's all it is. The problem is I'm now in this dead zone where it's like I've used up all my shorts and I no longer have editing software, so I need to learn now. So, fair warning, this weekend's shorts might be kind of terrible. I might just raw record them and dump them. So, yeah, spears work kind of like swords, but they are so much more precise, as you see. And then they actually have 2 sets of this shit. Hey, we do have an axe, which is good, because I want to make that gold axe. Oh, the nightmare is the most? I could have sworn that was... Huh. Still, you get my point, baby. Where it's just like, really? Not Leon is floating, which is probably the one that makes me the laugh the most. I keep going back to Leon is floating. That gets... No, nothing. Nobody cares. I'm taking today off. Perfect. And don't worry, to be clear, I'm not actually like, oh, I'm upset, and that's how I'm... No, it's just funny to me. A little demoralizing, because again, it's like, what do I think? What? I guess I'm not funny. Whatever. I mean, hell, I was about to do a Brody Quest animation, and I still might. Yeah, I might do that tonight. Just get the candles set up, because I've told Matriarch this before. When I need to buckle down and focus, I use a scented candle. Because it tells my brain, like, hey, you smell that? That means it's now work time. There we go. Also, it's amazing that despite this track being like 5 seconds long, it doesn't get annoying. It's just perfect background. That's actually fairly decent. By the way, am I the only one that feels like... Well, no, of course I'm not. You're never the only one. But, one of the things, like, the issue I've been having lately of not wanting to play early access games. And it's not just my whole, like, how dare you not pay playtesters thing. It's also just, I don't want to get to the end of, like Scarlet Hollow. Scarlet Hollow's in early access. It's up to Chapter 5 right now. I don't want to play it, get to the end of Chapter 5, they release Chapter 6 and 7, and then I come back. I'm already doing that for Deltarune, damn it. Hell, I mean... That's the reason that I didn't play Baldur's Gate 3, which, speaking of which, I forgot to mention, that's another one I'm looking at. It's just so goddamn long. But the reason I didn't play Baldur's Gate all through its early access was because it's like, no, I want to play this game when it's done. I want to sit down and not move from my screen for the next 50 hours. And just in one sitting, you know what I mean? Joke's on me, because that 50 hours turned into 150 real goddamn quick. The other content other than singing that I desperately do not want to do, but I can be convinced is not a fishing stream. Shut up, Jay. I do not want to do PvP content on this channel. It's not that I don't play PvP games. I do. I don't want to do PvP content because I get angry. I get heated, you know. Take that, Maffy! That's what you get! Yeah, see, Vivi, I was like that too throughout the entire main story, or through the entire chapter 2 of Zenless. And I've only recently caught back up now that it's at the end of chapter 2. Check your PayPal, Maffy. It's funny because it's happening to her. I'm half expecting to hear her just scream. Yeah, genuinely, as the co-manager of the Horde. And by which I mean, no. Ranter? No. Bad. That's a bad ranter. Hold on. I'm pouring. I can't get that. Hold on. No. There we go. Bad ranter. Actually, I should put on my happy face because this is relaxing to me. Oh man, I needed to make a shield, you bastards. That being said, I do need to go get something to drink here after this round. Also, you know, come to think about another, on the topic of games I do intend to play, I am going to go through the Shadow Hearts series. I've never played Covenant, but I definitely want to play from the new to the New World. And it is only 80% because there are hot women in that game. Gotcha. Look, I am a simple dragon of simple tastes. And then I need another spear to get going. I tell you though, before I came here, I was watching Matriarch play Resident Evil Requiem. She's doing good. She's doing fine. She's doing all right. She's playing, you know. She's playing. She's having fun. There you go. That's it. She's having fun. And at the end of the day, is that not what's important? She's doing her best. She is. Yeah, having fun may be a bit of a stretch. Yeah, I'm gonna try and catch up to her on a side file just so I can remember where things are and how to do things. How is that 100%, Adam? You have low standards. Well, then again, no, I can't even joke. Spears are objectively the best medieval weapon. Swords may be cooler, but... Agreed, Shadow. It is grindy. But like I said at the start, this is the game that I play when I've just had a rough day. I don't want to think. I just want to relax and make swords. At some point, I will buy Bladesong, and that's going to be my I just want to make swords game. So after this, I'll take not even a break. I'll just go into the kitchen and grab a drink. I do wish that they ported this to the phone instead. Like, this would make a great phone game. Hell, this whole UI right here is built for it. Oh yeah, no, Bladesong looks great. What's the third weapon, BD? Because I know... If I'm thinking right, the 4 great weapons, I don't know the name of the weapons, but it would be the one... I know the... That would be Lubu, Guan Yu, Cao Cao... Yes, I am just thinking of Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Leave me alone. Alright. I will be back very shortly, so just to be safe, I'll give you... I'm just gonna go ahead and play music, put on a break screen. Because you never know. Wind up getting a call or something. So, I will be back very shortly. As I said, I'm just going to get a quick drink. See you guys in a minute. I was genuinely gonna ask that, Shadow. Is the staff the grandfather of weapons because it's just a big stick? And when you break it down, aren't all weapons just variations of big stick? Swords are big sharp sticks. Frozen arrow. I guess the best thing we could do is a sea sword right now, which actually looks pretty cool. Like I said, I do want... Of course it is! Yeah, bows just launch sticks. Spears are just sticks with a pointy end on the pointy bit at the end. A mace is just a fat stick. Let's see though. Spear, king of weapons, obvious. Saber, general of weapons, probably because generals use it. It's more of a showman's weapon. Straight sword is the gentleman of weapons. That one kind of throws me off a little bit. Got my hands on TW3. TW3K. My brain wants to say The Witcher 3, but the K throws me off. Oh, War of the Three Kingdoms. Duh. You know what? I want to actually read War of the Three Kingdoms, but more importantly, recently, shit, that was the wrong thing. Yes, lose the medal. I have actually... Oh, Total War Three Kingdoms. I have wanted to sit down and finally read the Book of Five Rings. I put it off for ages, but Miyamoto Musashi deserves to have his words heard. It's just it's one of those things like it's like Art of War. Like everyone, these are books that I feel like everyone wants to read at some point or another. Because there's just something about the philosophy of ancient warriors that it stokes the... I don't know. I did say I want to read Romance of the Three Kingdoms, and you know what? Blades of Fire, huh? Hang on. Let me open that up on Steam so I can take a look at that later. Let's see. Oh, ooh. Oh, wow. Yeah, I already see what you're talking about. With that triangle thing? I'll have to look at that later. It's just, I talk about how much I like to read, how much I like to write, and there are so many of these seminal classics, for lack of a better term, like these ancient stories that I do believe people should read. I mean, Journey to the West, for God's sake. Son of a bitch. Journey to the West is another one of those, you know, the book is as long as a human life, but it's worth reading. Squeep. Yeah, I've watched that a lot too, but they are drastically holding off. Like, not holding off. They're taking forever. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, guys, I know it's not even animation. It's animatic, which I know still takes time, but you know, Now, Outlaws of the Martian Dream, Dream of a Red Chamber, I have never heard of those. But it's one of the reason that I Shadow. The reason that I do want to read Journey to the West is a lot because of OSP, and there's no way to put this nicely. I want to see how correct they are. You know what I mean? Similarly, I want to read the great American classics, Frankenstein, Bram Stoker, all that good shit. It's just making time these days. That's not to say I'm exceedingly busy, but no kidding.
Oh my god, he's so goddamn cool!
I wish I still liked DBZA. I really do. I wish I wasn't such a goddamn. Oh. I have a minor obsession with honesty, and I can blame my mother for that. As with any good mental illness, it comes from one's mother. I'm more of a family drama. As far as I've seen, they don't really. They just kind of make they instead of making a full series, they just kind of go, hey, this is a funny bit we want to do, and then they do that bit and then they move on to the next bit, from what I've seen. But keep in mind, I haven't paid attention to them in years. The last I saw of them was they were doing the Home for Infinite Losers series, and leeching off Devil Artemis, aka someone with actual talent. Yeah, that'll get me canceled. I can't stand Team 4-Star. I'm not a fan of their content anymore. I can acknowledge that it was good. I can acknowledge that they do amazing one-liners. But I can't stand them as people. Honestly, one of the this one's gonna get me some hate too. As if I've ever given a shit. I see, that's the thing. I did watch DBZ growing up, and I liked it because it was here's the problem. What? Oh, I never noticed they were different colors. Okay. What DBZA does really, really well, okay, other than one-liners, this is what keeps them in business, is the fact that they're parroting memes. That's really all they're doing. They're taking memes for the community, doing it in a funny voice, and people give them money. Yes, there's more to it. Yes, I'm being reductive. I know. But, like, at the end of the day, you can, like, oh, Goku's a terrible father. That's the joke that we've been making for how many years? And really, what really woke me up to their comedy was the Final Fantasy VII shit they pulled, because that was when I started like, no, this is just not funny versions of gags in the community. Like, Tifa the liar, huh? That's the whole bit. Haha, she's a liar. It's like, no, like, yeah, you can make that observation, But that's not a joke. Like, what are you doing? And it just kept getting worse. And that's when I kind of realized too, it's like, hang on, why is all of their merch just like for example, like the shot of Avalanche, the Avalanche team standing on a lineup. You know what I mean? And it's like, you did not make these characters. Why are you selling merch of just these characters? What are you doing? Yeah, no. SAO, okay. What I was saying that I've said is going to get me some hate. I think the greatest contribution to comedy, to internet content, to whatever you want to call it, the greatest contribution something witty has, or sorry, not something witty, that Team 4 Star has ever done is putting Izzy in Machine Abridged. Because when they put Izzy in Machine Abridged, people found out about Sword Art Online, and they were done. They were just done. Like I said, I'm not going to say they don't have any good lines. They are really good at one-liners. I still quote Team 4 Star. They do really, really good one-liners. But that's, I mean, yeah, that's a talent. Is that enough to launch a career off of, though? Bitches love cannons. No, I know. Oh, I see what you mean. Final Fantasy Abridged had one good line. I get what you mean. Yeah, it just... Maybe, and now here's the thing. I can also acknowledge, I can fully acknowledge that that hits home because 7 has a lot of personal meaning to me. I still say that Final Fantasy IX is the best Final Fantasy game. I do stand by that. However, you're not weird. 7 has a lot of personal meaning to me because 7 is genuinely the reason that I met Maffy. If it weren't for Final Fantasy VII, I never would have met her. So, it holds a lot of personal meaning to me. And it's why, even like Remake, the Remakes franchise, I am critical of it. I'm not one of those people that's like, well, it's changing things, so it's bad. No, it can change things. It can absolutely change things, but it needs to do it for the right reasons or in a decent way. You know what I'm trying to say? But Machine Abridged didn't feel like, we love this thing, let's share our love of this thing and the love of the community, right? It felt like, this is popular thing, let's laugh at popular thing, and we get money. And I think that's why it just, between that and the entire, and this is going to sound absolutely ridiculous, I'm aware, the entire Nuzlocke scandal they had, I bowed out. I couldn't. I can't have anything to do with them anymore. I'll still quote the one-liners, I'll still talk about them, but and yeah, 9. 100% 9. I like 9. I like 7 more because I think the world and the possibilities for extra stories and backgrounds and all the cool shit in that setting. But 9 is objectively better in every way. Like, I'm sorry. Better combat, oh god, fuck me. What was it called? Help me out, Shadow. The system that they had in 9 where it was like you could cut away to what other characters were doing at the same time. What was that system called? Active something. Yeah, no, we're not making this one. I hate it when this happens. Active time events, I think it was. That's good, go. Yeah, that is just objectively great. That's one thing that I do regret. Not regret, like I had a fucking choice in the matter. That I do wish I had siblings for growing up. Because I never got to share any of this with anybody, you know? Exactly. That was such a good idea, and they did that very, very well. And, okay. Here's where I start a war. Okay, thank God I'm not big yet, because, or big at all. Because this is the part where I really get hate. I think, and this is, yeah, no, fuck it, this is gonna be reflected. I'm gonna have to make a Final Fantasy tier list here. A couple Final Fantasy tier lists. I think Beatrix is a better Final Fantasy waifu than Tifa. 100%. I think Beatrix is better. I think she's more complex. I think she looks better. I think Beatrix did nothing wrong. I think she's cooler. Everything, man. The ending was disappointing. Kind of. Beatrix changed my brain chemistry. Yeah. Beatrix was an awakening. Beatrix made you go, hang on. Also, not for nothing, I think Final Fantasy IX has better songs. I think 7 has the better battle theme and the better boss theme. But 9 has Roses of May, it has Jesters of the Moon, it has You Are Not Alone. 9 has amazing music. Though that one is very, very tight. Like, 7 has phenomenal music too. And I can almost hear Math just glaring at me from the, I can almost hear Math glaring at me of just not including Final Fantasy VIII in this conversation. Math loves 8. Though, correct me if I'm wrong when you get a chance, Mathy. 8 was your first Final Fantasy, wasn't it? You're a dumb lizard, it's okay. Look, alright. 8 is the textbook definition of good idea, bad execution. Me and Math have had this talk many times. Eight had some really, really good ideas. And I don't have a problem with modern Final Fantasy, you know? But, like, the draw system... I can prove the draw system is a great idea, used poorly. Because they brought it back in Final Fantasy 15, and it was actually really good in 15. The junctioning system is such a good concept. But it just didn't work. Because then you're sitting here, basically every time you do anything, you have to say, hey, is it worth using this spell and losing stats? And it's almost never worth using the spell. Though, and Math can't argue this, Math knows this is true. This one's just a fact. Tetramaster sucks. Triple Triad's amazing. Math, you can't even argue that. Yeah, no, it is hot. God, I know it is. fuck, wait, I see what you're saying. God damn it! Look, I'm forging, alright? Shut up. Look, this sword is now ugly because of you. Well done. Yeah, no, I can't argue that. Tetramaster is hot garbage. Yeah. It is the only thing... That is one of the few things stopping me from getting 9 a perfect score. Ooh, there's more music. Sorry, I just thought. There's more music that 9 has over 7. Bala alla Flamenco, which is, I'm aware, just a remix of Roses of May. But still. Is that really how they started understanding it? Yeah, because, like, I remember reading the instructions, and it's just that... no. You are speaking gibberish. You are literally speaking Greek. And I played... Now, note my words here. I played Caravan. I didn't say I understood Caravan. I don't think there's a person on this planet that actually understands Caravan. Also, yeah, welcome to the ADHD nightmare that is my brain. Oh, good, Mace. This is where this is another one you can mess up really good. Let's see. Stone's Bane. Definitely need to make that. And we'll start the Mace. Oh, we get the Mace after this. Okay. Yep. Freya is amazing. Like, okay, yo, you can give the furry allegations all you want, but Freya is genuinely another phenomenal Final Fantasy woman. All right, just again, character design, story, it's all so good. I will never stop being mad at the completely unfounded rumors that Final Fantasy XIV was supposed to get Burmesians, and we got stuck with fucking Vieira instead. As I said, these are completely unfounded rumors that I have zero evidence, well, that I have only circumstantial evidence to back up, okay? But I don't care. I'm mad. Yeah, it's a ram. Rams get shields. It's one of those things that have just been so much better. And yes, I do absolutely hate Vieira, but I have an excuse. Yep. God, don't get me started. Not too late, I'm started. Essentially, okay. Give me a quick second. I gotta put this on screen just to be safe. Pop. Yeah, we'll just leave it here. Come on. Okay, Maffy. There we go. I need to brighten that up. As much as I want to try and keep my coloration, lose the gradient. There we go. Subway preferred, hun. Taco Bell is fine, but if you want to do Taco Bell, don't get me a slider. I'm so sick of those. But yes. So, dude, I am so mad about this. So, with Final Fantasy XIV, they have been like, there's a lot of heavy nods to other games. For example, Doma, the Kingdom of Doma from Final Fantasy IV is a major city in 14. It's a little different. Apparently, Cyan's son in the original game is named Hien, and Hien is the ruler of Doma in 14. Okay, cool. Nice little nod. Perfect. Everyone loves it. Then they started doing, for example, they did the Final Fantasy 12 raids. And in that, instead of just, excuse me, instead of doing like a reference to 12, no, they literally just said, hey, Ivlis is here, there's Fran, there's Balthier, it's just here. It's not a reference, it's not cute, it's not anything, you know. Fucking infuriating, you know? And yes, because I fucking hate Final Fantasy 12. I can explain why later. One rant at a time. So that's all well and good. Then they did the patch quests of Endwalker, which were straight up fight the 4 fiends from 4. I was okay with this. All the 4 fiends got reimagined. Golbez showed back up. It was effectively just doing a speed run of Final Fantasy IV's story. That's fine, because we never went to any of the places in 4. We didn't run into literally Cecil. Yes, we ran into Golbez, but Golbez was someone else. It was, you know, a reference. Cool. Everyone's happy. So, leading up to Dawn Trail, we got Dancer. I think Dancer was actually in Endwalker, actually, or Shadowbringers. Yeah. Well, we got Dancer is the point. And Dancer's theme, when you first meet them... Shit, that was supposed to be a special sword, wasn't it? When you first meet Dancer, the song that they're dancing to, the song that's playing, is the Vala Flamenco. Is Roses of May. And people lost their mind, because everyone loves that. And then in the middle of Shadowbringers, we also ran into Zorn and Thorn XPs. Like blue and red jesters, although they were women, that were serving a evil leader. Cool, awesome. We even had a minor reference to, I don't remember where else it was. There was another reference at this point. Which is why I say, hell, the main enemies of Shadowbringers look like emaciated Burmesians. Hang on, I gotta get this, because it's bothering me now that I'm thinking about it, right? Yes, no, basic Sin Eater, please. Basic Sin Eater. Where is he? No, not that fucking nightmare fuel. I'm sorry, I know this is complete tangent. Oh my god, I can't find them. I might have to ask Maffy to help me with this later. I wonder. No. Okay. Point is, I can't find it, but the basic, like, dime a dozen enemy you find there, the Sin Eater, looks like an emaciated Burmesian with wings. Okay? So there's all of this like all of this references to 9 all over the place. Everyone's excited. All cool. Right. We get to the new area in Dawn Trail. You're doing everything, you're fighting, you're going through, whatever. And you run into someone who looks like Arna. And everyone's eyebrow starts raising, like, hold on, what's this then? This expansion's been hot fucking garbage until now, but what's this? And she's like, oh yeah, I'm from Alexandria. And everyone starts to lose their fucking minds, because, again, everyone loves 9. Only to get to Alexandria, and it's basically fucking Night City from Cyberpunk. It is this neon-lit, futuristic shithole. It is awful. You wander a little bit afield, and you actually find the main... What's the word I'm looking for? The main square of Alexandria. Like, exactly. And it's destroyed and underwater. It is wrecked. Okay? Already that has pissed me off, because it's just like, why is it 9 is the one that gets the disrespect? But it gets worse, right? You keep going, and you do meet this big-ass robot, because the whole idea of Alexandria becomes that they're afraid of death, and so they start putting their souls into robots. I'm not even kidding. The fucking culmination, the final battle, is effectively you turning off the evil queen's AI bots. I'm not joking. But this big robot comes running up to you, right? Because you're trying to rescue this kid. He starts going on pretty much as you'd expect. Halt, thine villain! I shall be thy foe. Thou shalt not harm this child. All that shit. And he's even called Rusty Robot. Now, once again, anybody who knows anything about 9 is screaming right now that you have a royal guard called Rusty Robot speaking in old justice, and people are happy, people are losing, people are, very happy. And then you go, oh, hey, what's your name? Oh, it's Otis. What, Otis? Yeah, I'm Otis. Otis, like, Otis Steiner? No, Otis. Why? It was right there. Meanwhile, in the fucking Iblis raids, Fran just walks up. Not, I happen to be named the same thing and happen to be a Vieira. No, she is just Fran from Final Fantasy XII. And it gets worse. It gets fucking worse. There are some who call me Tim. Because you eventually, it comes up where it's like, oh, well, there was this great warrior of the old world. There was this great warrior that served Alexandria, and she was amazing. She was an undefeated warrior, and we're not gonna name her, but we're just gonna play. We're gonna play the Roses of May, and you're gonna beat the shit out of this Beatrix robot pretty effortlessly. She's not a major boss. She's not anything. And if you know about Beatrix, you should be screaming right now, because this is the woman who is a one-woman Dynasty Warrior game. Alright? The fuck do you mean we just kinda effortlessly kick her ass? She's never named, never given a name, and then the robot dies and she's gone forever. There's even a bit where you find out, like, the story of Alexandria in this world, And the Alexandria of this world became the technological superpower that it is because it found this fucking resource that conducted electric magic very well. And so they used that to make neon and all of the super future tech. Meanwhile, and this is the part that about made Rose scream. Their neighboring country of Lindblum decided they wanted this resource and waged a war and wound up destroying the world. Lindblum and Alexandria destroyed the world, warring over electricity, effectively. You know what, let's just call it what it is. They're warring over fucking coal. And I'm like, did you even glance at Final Fantasy IX? You know, like, what? Why? Actually, why? I know it's absolute nerd rage, but like I said, 9 is my favorite. I love 9. So the fact that every other game that they talked about got either respect or just straight up put into the game, and then this is what 9 gets. This is the shit that happens to 9. Just, And yes, I am 100% tard raging, because, and sorry for that, but because fucking, no, why would Lindblum, why would Garnet's Uncle Sid decide to try and murder his niece over coal? Like, yeah, it really feels like, and I've made this argument before with Square Enix, right? I've said this about 7 too, or 7 Remake. It genuinely feels like they were upset that people wanted Burmesians, that people were like, yo, where's 9? Where's 9? You've said you're not going to give us 7 until Remake's done. We understand that. We're not fighting about that. But where's 9? You have no excuse not to give us 9. We don't want 12. We don't want 11. We don't want 4. Exactly. Why not make it Grand Pulse? Like, that would work. But no, that's what they do to 9. And then again, to do that to Lindblum and Beatrix. Also, they tried to say it as, well, yes, Beatrix is a great warrior that served Alexandria. Steiner was stronger than her. No, not even close. It drives me absolutely insane. The one good thing, one positive thing I have to say about how Dawn Trail, specifically, how Dawn Trail handled 9 is... Hold on. I'm surprised no one's yelled at me yet. Let me see if I still have the picture. Because I'm pretty sure I do. It might be in my to be sorted. That they actually gave us a good, like a good flag or good coat of arms. I can't find the damn thing. I know I didn't delete it because I took the picture myself. They gave us a good coat of arms for Alexandria. Let me look real quick. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Let me copy this to Paint. And then we will visual aid. Yes, please. Over to Paint. This is the coat of arms they got for Alexandria. And I actually genuinely really like it. I think that's so good for Alexandria. The knight sword, because that's what they are. They're knights. They're a noble city with the blue ribbon around it and the wings of Alexander in the back. Speaking of which, Alexander fucking nowhere to be seen because he's already been used somewhere else in the game. But this is really good. I like this. It's just a shame. Yeah, exactly. And they do. But it's just like, it's fucking... Why did you destroy the rest of Alexandria? What did 9 do to you guys? Are you guys that mad that we wanted Burmesians? And then again, considering who the head writer on Dawn Trail was, I'm not surprised. And to be fair, she wasn't the head writer; she's the head localizer, but still. Yeah, that genuinely upsets me. Because while me and Rose didn't, me and Maffy didn't meet because of 9, we definitely bonded over it. So, hey, the repair bomb, actually very useful. And like you said, I didn't even think of that until you said it, Shadow. Why not make that region Grand Pulse? Why not make it, like, actually make it the futuristic, any of the futuristic Final Fantasies? The luck beater. Yeah, why not? And the only thing I can reckon is that again, they were mad at the fans that wanted Final Fantasy IX, and they go, fine, fuck you, here's 9, it's on fire. Everything you loved about it, gone. Like, can we have, okay, well, if we're doing 9, where's Beatrix? You can't have 9 without Beatrix, you know? Oh yeah, fuck you, we'll make her just a dungeon boss. Like, she's got really no story. Math says, and this, by the way, is the kind of shit Math said I should record. She said my rants are really good, and I disagree. But now y'all have a proper Cav rant. Proper Cav rage. Yeah, I missed one. There we go. But to finish the Cav rage for a little bit, I mentioned that Final Fantasy VII Remake had something similar to me, where it's like, why do you hate us? You know? And I'll put the spoiler warning up before I actually start talking about it, because as much as I have a major issue with that game, it's good and it is worth playing. With Final Fantasy Rebirth, at the end of Remake, and I know technically this would be more remake spoilers, but this is fine. It's a mechanical spoiler at best. At the end of Remake, you do still get to the end of Shinra Labs, and you do still pick up Red 13. Red 13 is by far my favorite character, my favorite party member in 7. And yes, I know, haha, Cav hates humans, I know, but... Oh, by the way, yeah, you might have noticed the star meter down here. When you max it out, you actually get extra elemental boosts, so... So yeah, I know, haha, Cav hates humans, but... I love Red 13, okay? I think he is a phenomenal character. I think that how they handle his relationship with his father and his past and all of that shit, it not only works for what they were obviously intending. Shit! I meant to say no. Can I get that back? Yes, will be salvaged. Thank you. But I think that it's a really well done story on its own, and it does what they were very clearly trying to do, and tie it together with Cloud's story. Okay. The howling in the middle of Cosmo Canyon, like that scene, still is one of my top gaming scenes of all time. It is still, in my opinion, one of the greatest narrative moments of an RPG. And you can argue with me. There is an argument to be had, but it's just to me. And, you know, maybe it's because I do have issues with my own father. And so it, you know, really hit me in a very emotional time of my life. But I'm doing terrible with this sword. Cosmo Canyon, Nanaki, Red, all of it. This is a fucking nightmare sword. Why would you have a rapier hand basket on this thing? It doesn't look that bad, actually. Yeah, it was important, you know. But at the end of Remake, you do find Red. But they decided in their infinite wisdom, and to be fair to them, this was a good choice, he wasn't going to be playable. He was going to run alongside the party. He was going to kind of do his own thing. He would fight, so you could see him doing, like, they had programmed actions, but he wasn't going to be playable. People were very upset with this, because people really like Red, you know? And he looked really fun to play. Spoiler alert, he was. And so people were kind of mad. And they let people know. Eventually, they made Final Fantasy Remake Interval, or whatever it was called, the DLC. And it was a full chapter of playing as Yuffie. As well as some other rando. That does not matter to the story, and I believe still doesn't matter. Like a complete new OC. And people kind of got a little pissed, because it's like, you said that you didn't have the fucking resources to give us Red 13. That's what you said. And then here you throw this fucking rando at us? Why? And then, out comes Rebirth, okay? And everyone who knows the story knows what happens with Red, knows about the change in his character, okay? If you don't, and you don't mind the spoilers, you know, 3, 2, 1, Red is, like, he's always seen as the older character in the party, like as this wise man, very Mufasa, you know. Come to find out that his species is so goddamn long-lived that he's actually about the equivalent of 15 to his people. So he is 48 years old. He has been on this planet for 48 years. But as far as his people go, that's about 15 years. That's about a 15 year. And everyone knows this. And in the original game, they did actually a very good job of displaying it. And obviously they did it better in Japanese, because it's a lot more... Yeah, it's a lot more of an in-depth language. But they displayed it in the English version by having him... Effectively, he went from speaking as such, where he used antiquated sentences. He was very verbose. He spoke extremely well-spoken, and tried not to speak as much as he could, because he wasn't quite sure what to say. This also is an ugly fucking spear. And thus, he really did keep that feel of the old man, the strange, wise figure, because who talks like that? Yeah, and now granted, he wasn't doing Old English. No, verily, thou wast correct. It was just very proper speech, very sure. And then after you get the reveal that he's about 15 years old, relatively speaking, he starts talking a lot more normal. You know, he starts using a lot more contractions. He starts... I think he does use, not slang, but he definitely starts speaking more like an actual human. And it really sold that, oh, he's been putting it on this whole time. You know, you really did start to understand that he wasn't as mature and as well-spoken as he thought. Fuck you! Fucking... Dude, you have no idea how close you are. When you get to this point in Rebirth, not only is the entirety of Cosmo Canyon changed from effectively... I know I'm all over the place. Effectively, Cosmo Canyon starts as this... It's like... there's no nice way to put it. It's effectively a Native American reservation. They're not forced to stay there. That is their native home. They're good. That has been kind of co-opted by tourists. So while they are speaking, you know, doing these teachings of what the planet is and understanding our relationship with the world and the light stream and all of this, it's also a major tourist attraction. Effectively, the real world equivalent would be there's a bunch of fucking white people hanging out there trying to go, oh, look how spiritual I am. But the truth is still in there. They're people... No, please, don't. I don't want to use this anymore. Okay, thank you. Their people do live there. Their people do have that history. Their people do have that connection to the planet. Awesome. When you get there in Rebirth, it feels like a fucking cult, man. Delta? There we go. Alright, chain and then crosses. Like, you don't get the feeling that... You don't get the feeling that they've been co-opted. You know, you don't get the feeling that it's like, this... A lot of these people don't really know what they're talking about. It feels like all of the people there now are these slavish believers that they know they are correct, to the point that you have a character who's known for being very calm. He's your Mr. Miyagi. He's your, like, he's kind of a little goofy, but he knows what he's talking about. He's teaching, but you don't really realize he's teaching you until he does, you know? Again, very Mr. Miyagi. And they take him, and they make him literally start shouting down a character who has no reason to defend the bad guys. Where it's like, well, hold on. You guys are saying that the bad guys are effectively draining the planet and destroying it because eventually we're going to run out. How do you know that? How do you have proof of that? How do we know that the resource that the villains are draining don't return to the planet? And he doesn't show her, he doesn't tell her, he just says, you're wrong, you don't know what you're talking about, go sit in this struggle session, which, by the way, when you get there, it's literally just them going, and, you know, this is what the bad company did to me. So go sit in this struggle session, because you don't know what you're talking about. And it's, what the fuck did that why? And eventually you do find out, you know, the plot twist that Red is, he's putting it on. He's doing a, you know, a voice the whole time, where he's doing this gruff, gravelly voice. He's trying to do this to sound wise, and effectively he's trying to sound cooler than he is. And so when you actually understand who he really is, he starts talking in this very high-pitched, very childish tone where he's so excited to do things, and honestly, I don't have a problem with the voice, you know, and because, you know what, fine, funny gag, cool, move on. The problem isn't that he starts talking in a high-pitched tone, which, I mean, yeah, that's a problem. They went way too far with that. The problem is that he then immediately starts reverting to being a child. Like, He starts talking like Season 1 Naruto. I'm not joking. Where it's like they invented this guardian position called the Veil Watcher that was not in the original game. And as soon as you hear the words Veil Watcher, that's all this motherfucker can talk about. I'm gonna be a Veil Watcher. I'm gonna be the strongest Veil Watcher. Because I'm strongest, I'm gonna be a Veil Watcher. Motherfucker, just say Hokage. And even when you do get him, which they also fuck up that scene and it actually infuriates me. Even when you do get more into him, you do start following him around, his character completely 180s. So where he was, you know, he was a little buttoned up. He you know, of course, like he's what a kid thinks an adult, or a teenager thinks an adult is, right? Where it's like, I can't have fun because I'm an adult. I can't be goofy because I'm an adult. He's got that going, right? And he lets it slip throughout the game, and that's, you know, anyone who doesn't know, it's like, oh my god, he was actually a dumbass kid under there the whole time. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of cool. The problem is that he then starts fully leaning into it, where he starts being an arrogant little prick to people that are effectively being tortured. And he starts essentially like, why can't they go faster? I don't care that they're mentally broken. They should be going faster. It's so boring following them. Look at this fucking piece of shit. And it's like, what the fuck? What happened to the character who not 10 minutes ago was sitting down and having a conversation with the party, talking about how I wanted to attack the person who hurt my family, who hurt my village, but I knew that if I killed him, it would have made me miserable. I would have been little more than the animal he claims me to be, and I couldn't reduce myself to that. He goes from that to sitting down and talking about monster pirates, which, to be fair, it is something that's happening in the game. It's not like he's just making up a story. He's talking about monster pirates, about how they traveled the world and slaughtered people, and they stole all these treasures and made everybody miserable. And as soon as he's done telling that story, he immediately launches into, yay, we're gonna be pirates! It's like, what the, that is not the same character. That is not a kid that was trying to act mature and is now feeling like he can be himself. That is a fucking infant. It's the fucking Sora thing from Kingdom Hearts 3 all over again, you know? And my conspiracy theory on it, and it gets worse, by the way, but I'm not gonna... I've already ranted on this fucking topic for like half an hour. But my conspiracy theory is that because they're making all these changes to the Ancients, because they got so much backlash for making Red not playable in the first game, they decided to make that entire section into a fucking joke. And my evidence to that is that literally everything else in the game, every single city, right, I agree. I don't even mind that, right? Because I don't mind them telling a new story and couching it. Honestly, here's the thing. When Remake itself came out, I said that Remake was a masterpiece. Not because it, it changed so much, it's so perfect, blah, 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 blah. But because, in my opinion, it did the impossible of making a game that lifelong fans of the game could look at it and honestly say, I wonder what's going to happen next. But in the same breath, they were able to do a functional retelling of Midgard. Was it perfect? Hell no. Should the entire first game have been Midgard? Nuh-uh. But as far as setting it up, I think they did very well with Remake. It should then Rebirth, they just started. That's what bothers me the most, is that I don't hate almost any of the other changes they made in Rebirth, you know? I'm gonna have to just reset this whole thing because I want to get that upgraded axe. There we go. And I feel like in the scenes leading up to the change, especially the not Costa del Sol, I can't remember what the ship's name is. But the Queen's Blood tournament where he does his Shinra soldier impersonation, does his Michael Jackson bullshit. Like, people are like, oh, look, that proves he was a dumbass child. It's like, no, you missed every bit of subtext in that scene. Because that was him showing that he understood humanity, really didn't care. You know, he was told, like, hey, oh yeah, no, gameplay-wise, perfect, no notes. It is the greatest thing Square's put out in fucking years. Gameplay-wise, no notes. But yeah, if you don't know, he gets banned from the card tournament because they're like, hey, we know you're a talking animal and all, we know you're intelligent, but this is for humans. Which is already kind of stupid. Because it's like, you're literally sitting here speaking to this creature who is politely asking to join the card tournament. Legitimately, why are you saying no? And he gets pissed about it, grabs the uniform, and comes out doing what he does, barely able to stand, yet hitting these Michael Jackson moves. And everyone's like, look, that's proof he was stupid. It's like, no. Hold on, something fell on my... It's like, no, it's not proof. It's anything that's proof that he was smart. Because he basically tells Cloud... Because Cloud looks at him, he's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know no one believes you, right? Like, I can literally see your muzzle. And Red essentially says, yeah, I know. I know the disguise is shit, but the thing about humans is they don't really care. They don't look too close. As long as you have some flair, as long as you can distract them with the pretty wrapping, they're not going to look too close. They don't care. And yes, the scene is incredibly played for laughs because it's like everyone is just staring at him of just like, motherfucker, we can see you. But it's still a good view into human psychology. He's not wrong. Because they let him into the tournament. So it's like, how do you strike that balance of childish and mature so perfectly well? And then just, nope, he's a toddler now. Fuck, it pisses me off. And the last I'll speak on it, right? The last I'll speak on it is motherfuckers. Okay, take that back. Two last things I'll speak on it. First off, I am so fucking sick of these people quoting goddamn Screen Rant, of all things. Yes, that website. Because everyone's like, oh, well, in the original Japanese, it was he started speaking less formally. He started speaking using the terms that a child would use. And therefore, that means that he was speaking like an infant and acting like an infant. That him suddenly wanting to play pirates and screaming, oh, not screaming, I'll be fair, and effectively talking down to people who have been tortured like he was, makes total sense. It's like, no, you don't, what the fuck do you mean that because he used different phrasing? Well, You see, they had to do it that way because we could never describe how voices sound when it comes in text. Really, motherfucker? So books have been failing to do it, have somehow done it for thousands of years. But games can't manage it. Go fuck yourself. Yes, I am genuinely angry at this. And the other one, okay, is motherfuckers need to learn the word equivalent. Because I swear to God, I will do nothing. YouTube, I will do nothing. Legally speaking, not legally speaking, for legal purposes, this is an over-exaggeration. To be fair, Shadow, I don't doubt that he used different pronouns, that he started speaking in a more childish manner. I don't doubt that. What I do doubt is that that means that he's suddenly an idiot. But, once again, for legal purposes, this is an over-exaggeration for comedic effect. But I swear to God, if I meet one more fucking person who tells me that because he is the equivalent of 15 to his people, that means that he's a fucking dumbass teenager, I am going to lose my goddamn mind. And you know what? Pippa. That's all I gotta say. Pipkin Pippa knows. Again, YouTube, for legal reasons, this is a humorous over-exaggeration. But no, because, like, just because the guy has been, you know, as far as his people go, is about 15, right? Just because of that does not mean that he has not been on this fucking planet for 40 fucking years, alright? He's a 40-year-old. He is not actually, sorry, 50-year-old, he's 48. He is not actually a child. He's not actually a teenager. He's 50 years old. It just so happens that to his people, 50 years old is equivalent to 15. And the amount of... it drives me nuts. It makes me lose my mind. Like, am I tweaking? Am I losing it here? Right? Back me up here, Shadow. Like, does that make sense to you? That he is still 50. I don't care that the equivalent is 15. He's been on this planet for 48 years. It's just... Ugh. Like I said, I'm passionate about Final Fantasy. So, excuse the probably now hour-long rant, so. It is weird. It is. I do acknowledge that, right? I've written multiple very long-lived species. Dragons! Hello! It is weird. But there's a very fine line, and it goes both ways, right? And now I'm going to get rid of the... There. It's a very fine line when writing long-lived species, because you don't want to go either way, right? If you go... well, like they did, where it's, hey, you know, they live to be 1,000 years old, so now that he's only 100, that means that he's 10 years old. That's stupid. That is dumb. That's not... That race would have died. Because that means you're telling me they're effectively a toddler for, what, 8 years? No, hold on. 1,000, so that's 10 times, so a toddler... Yeah, for about 10 years. 10 to 30 years. You're telling me that man is a toddler. No, that's stupid. That's not how it works. Also, looks like crystal, lattice, gold, tile. But on the other hand, yeah, again, that too. But like, and that's kind of what I'm saying. You don't also want to go the other way, where it's like, well, no, because they're, you know, like Zelda does this, Breath of the Wild does this. Well, no, because they're actually 500, they're actually 300 years old, but they look like they're 10. No, you don't want to do that either. That's not good either. Yeah, I do get what you mean. Like, that is another thing, writing small species. Which is really fucking funny to me, because I like writing goblins and kobolds so much. Jeju. Oh! I forget that's her fucking... God, go fuck yourself, YSG. Sorry. Yes, Zhao. Zhao, they handled that very, very well for her. If we're talking about the same Zhao. Oh, Honkai Star Red. Sorry. Well, I imagine it's the same way. Because Zhao in Zenless is another one that they don't shy away from the fact that she's fucking tiny. Right? But this bitch is awesome. Like, I'm so mad at Zhao because I genuinely love her as a character. And, like, Zhao, if you were... Like, why do you have to be literally a child? Because you are the perfect woman otherwise. Huh. I've been meaning to start Star Rail, by the way. That's another one I want to do in my time. Yeah. It's quiet. I'm not against writing actually 4,000-year-old vampire, whatever. I'm not against it, but you need to do it, you need to treat it with the respect it's earned, you know? You can make it a joke. Disgaea 6, as much as I fucking hate that game. Hold on. As much as I hate Disgaea 6, right? And I'll get back to you all here. There is a character, one of the main characters in Disgaea 6 is, I can't remember her name, because Disgaea 6 was garbage. But there is a character who essentially is this, like, fucking granny. In context of the setting, she's like 70. Alright, she is old, she is done with everybody's shit. She's the headmistress of a magical academy. And in the magical academy, the one who founded it, their greatest people, or their greatest person, was straight up a magical girl. And so she left her artifact behind, which was her magical girl wand. Right? So, basically, hey, if you are ever under threat, take this magical girl wand, do the magical girl chant, do the Sailor Moon transformation, and you will have enough power to defend yourself. You will have all of my power. Okay. That's the setup. That's the joke setup. So this granny sees you as a threat and basically says, oh shit, I'm the only one who can effectively use this power without just exploding. I don't want to do this. This is going to be embarrassing. This is gonna suck. But it's either that or my school dies. So she does the magical girl transformation. She does the Sailor Moon bit. And when the light wears off, she's been turned back to effectively a 14-year-old. To a 13, 14-year-old. A fucking child. Because the magical girl was a child. So the power is locked to being an adorable child magical girl. So she is now in her thousands this little old lady trapped in the body of a 13-year-old, and she fucking hates every second of it. He literally has a line where it's like, I can't go back to the school. I can't go back. Because she can't turn it off. She's just stuck like that forever now. And she has this, I can't go back because I am the fucking headmistress of that school. Who's going to take me seriously when I look like this? This was Disgaea 6, and it's only one part. Do not play Disgaea 6. It is fucking trash. It is Disgaea 6 to Disgaea fans is what Devil May Cry 2 is to Devil May Cry fans, alright? Disgaea 6 didn't happen. And her whole arc, though, throughout that game, is effectively learning. It's not to like, oh, I can still be sexy and blah 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 when I'm a child. No, she's given up on that. That's done because she's 80 to begin with. She wasn't active anyway. She doesn't care. But her whole arc in that is accepting that, you know what? Just because I look like a preteen doesn't mean that I can't do my damn job. Doesn't mean that I can't lead these people, that I can't still be a person. Yeah, exactly. That's that exact idea, Quiet. But she had no idea it was gonna happen. All the magical girl told her was, here, use this and here you'll get my power. And I feel like that's probably, that and Skyrim, of all games, are probably the best ways to do the immortal child bit, you know? Well, give me a second, let me look at this here real quick. Let's see. Yeah, Eleanor written as Star Rail, second world different among the species, and the Xiaozhu natives were blessed by the Aeons to have essential immortality until their brains cool up. Part of that I like is that NPCs point out they have less neuroplasticity, so their brains develop slower despite their long life. And there's a factor of nurture. One NPC is a kid who's kind of an unemployed loser who lives with his parents and can't summon the motivation. Fucking mood. And why would he? He doesn't have a significant time limit. That's, yeah. Like, that's such a really good... That's what's so wonderful about fiction and fantasy in general, is these are the kinds of insane stories that you can connect with people and make them honestly question things, you know? Like, if I had immortality, if I couldn't die, or couldn't age, why would I do anything? Humans, mortals, are driven by their limited time. It's the only reason you do anything. And yes, I'm doing the keyframe. Shut up. If mortals were immortal, if mortals had endless life, well, humanity wouldn't accomplish anything. The big reason that humanity pushes for monuments, for conflicts, for war, there's the old Futurama bit where it's, oh yeah, why do humans do anything? Because sex. No. I mean, yes, but also no. It's because they want to be remembered. It's because they know that their time is finite. And someday they will die. And the only thing that they want to be remembered. You take away that motivation of death, there's no reason for humanity to do anything. I don't need to worry about it. This is a gorgeous shield, by the way. Put the spade on it. Yeah. I actually really like that. I'm gonna take this. Yoink. And it is tragic that, yes, there are those stories in anime and fiction of, no, it's totally okay because she's totally, much as I love the series, because bias, let's be honest, Dragon Maid kind of touches that uncomfortably a few times, where it's like, no, it's okay that, yeah, she looks like a elementary school kid, But she's actually... no. And to be fair, they don't really do that too much with Kana. They usually treat that as more of a gag, less of a actual relationship. But the fact that those do exist, it is not... not good. But the fact that... what I hate is that those series do wind up stopping people from actually engaging in stories that could be told with that. I mean, hell, if we really want to talk about one of my favorite moments shall we say, questionable storylines, and Vanguard's just gonna show up, I swear to fucking God. It's Mass Effect. Mass Effect 2 specifically, I'll never forget it. When you go to... want to say... no, it's not the Asari homeworld. It's not anyone's homeworld. It's that one bustling merchant planet. I don't know if anyone remembers what the hell I'm talking about. But in 2, it's where you find Liara. And it's a city that thrives on just... not senseless capitalism, but get fucked. Money's to be made, you know? And you come across a Quarian effectively being sold. Effectively my ass. The Asari is literally saying, hey, who wants to buy a Quarian slave? Right? And they do it so well. Like, I can't ever take this away from BioWare, right? Because any good, rational person hears that shit and immediately rocks up gun in hand. Because what the fuck? And you roll up on them, and you know, Shepard's like, the fuck do you mean you're selling this Quarian? And Asari's like, whoa, hold on. This all is legal. Like, I don't know what you're thinking, but this isn't piracy. This is, you know, she sold herself. And you look over to the Quarian, and it's like, hey, is that what happened? Is that what's going on? And she's like, yeah, no, shut the fuck up. Do not ruin this for me. And you come to find out that effectively on that planet, there exists indentured servitude. That if your debts get too high, you can sell yourself to this broker agency, and they will sell you as a live-in servant. And whoever buys your contract is expected to take care of you, to treat you like a person, but you are their slave. Your job is to live on their property, to do whatever the fuck they say within the limits of the law, whenever the fuck they say, again, within the limits of the law. And in exchange, not only is your debt removed when you're done, but you leave with learned experience. You don't have money saved up, I don't believe, but you get references, and you're released back into the world better than when you left. And it's one of those things that, and they did it again in Dragon Age, by the way, but where you just kind of sit there and you go, did I just agree with slavery? And it's one of those things that I'm so happy BioWare was brave enough to tackle, because you can hear immediately, especially these days, you can hear the bureaucrats, the people holding the money, the shareholders, that's the word. You can hear the shareholders just curdle when you go, hey, I want to write a story talking about the positives of slavery. Like, no. For the record, the other one they did was in Inquisition. It was in Inquisition. As much as people hate Inquisition, I kind of like it. Yeah, not Andromeda. God, no. Which, while I don't think Andromeda is as bad as people make it out to be, no, it's... I think Andromeda's biggest problem, right, was Andromeda was a 6 out of 10 following a 10 out of 10. And that's Because it's not bad. The combat's really good. Some of the characters... I really like Vetra. PB's super fucking annoying. But I really liked Vetra. Alright. And the other moment they did was in Inquisition, right? Inquisition, yes. Thank you for the gold. In Inquisition, you have Iron Bolt. Say what you want to say about Iron Bolt, don't care, not the point. But when you talk to Iron Bull, you can talk about how his people, how the Kyun, view slaves. And of course, you're like, what the fuck do you mean your people have slaves? Like, that's horrible. And he effectively goes, is it? He goes, your people have slaves. No, we fucking don't. He goes, oh yeah? Alright. And he goes, in the city of Orlais, effectively fantasy France, and in our city, there are 2 bakers, he says. Because the baker in our city is a slave. She was born and told from her birth, you are going to be a baker. Okay? The baker in Orlais has chosen to be a baker. She woke up one day and just said, yeah, I'm going to bake for a living. He goes, all right, you can make an argument on that. And he goes, both bakers wake up in the morning. Both bakers stand out in front, waiting for the resources to make bread. Both bakers, if they don't sell the bread, are going to have fucking problems. The difference is that the slave is going to effectively not have any penalties. Because the slave is going to go, hey, not even that, excuse me, I'm mixing it up with my own. He's like, what's the difference? Because both need to make the bread at the end of the day. Both wake up, and that's it. I'm explaining it like shit, because it's been ages since I played it. Fuck it, I'm downloading that after the stream. And it's one of those moments that it's like, it's... Hold on, I'm getting a meme. I'm getting a meme. Where is it? Visual aid. It's one of those moments that this meme comes up, right? Where is it? It's one of my favorite memes. I gotta make sure that none of this shows up. I know you're here. Here it is. And it's the same as the Quarian slave. But when he talks about, like I said, there's no difference. That the baker, the free baker, is still going to struggle and still going to suffer if they don't make that bread, if they don't do their job. Like, what's the difference? Because then the free baker doesn't make the bread, doesn't sell anything. Next thing you know, they're on the street and they die. And it's like, this is not that. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, you know what? Thank you. Here we are. This is the exact image that I had, like, on my face when he says that. My literal reaction. Because it's like, you can make the, like, did he just make, whether you agree with it or not, right? Did he just make an argument for slavery? And why am I not dismissing it outright? Because really, and I'll tell you why, before anyone gets any funny ideas about me and how I'm going to treat all of you when I eventually conquer this shithole planet. It's effectively, slavery is one of those things that, well, slavery as it's described, let me be very clear on that, as it's described in those games, is one of those things that work phenomenally on paper. But the minute you start introducing mortals into it, it falls to shit. Okay? Because you could sit here and go, yeah, no, we could just have a system where where, you know, when you need to pay off debts, you could just sell yourself into servitude, and we could have a system where people are told where they're gonna do for their jobs, and they don't have to struggle with this finding their spot in the world, and don't have to worry about slavery. Apology is a good American tradition. Shut the fuck up, you're not wrong. You know, people don't have to worry about what they're going to do. There's not any fear about not being able to find a job, and what are you going to do? It's just like, wait, no, but, and then what's gonna happen is mortals get involved, and then there starts to be abuse, there starts to be, well, now suddenly, like, that 2-year-long contract, oh, see, that was the contract, but then, it's such a shame, right? There's been inflation, and there's been changes to the law. Yes, I do agree with you. Okay, let me be very clear on that, alright? This is all hypothetical, on paper, fantasy bullshit, alright? Kayfabe aside for a fucking second, alright? No. Freedom is the most central value that matters to me. Alright? I need to be 100% clear on this. So, just, yeah, no, I underline that. This is all hypotheticals, fantasy settings, because again, in real life, when it comes to people, humans, like people, dealing with people, no, no, absolutely not. We can find a better way. There are ways. Anyone arguing differently is trying to fuck someone over, alright? Alright, that, I just need to be sure. This is purely on a fantasy point of view. For settings, for stories. Alright. I realized as soon as I read that, Shadow, how I was sounding. So that's why I'm like, wait, hold on. But that's always been, you know, my big problem is I'm not afraid to just run my fucking mouth. And I usually don't think about what I'm saying, but because on that note, it is one of my favorite settings that I've written. Is a setting of that does revolve around indentured servitude. One of my favorite characters that I write has that, where because her whole reason as a character, right, is more of a confronting of, yeah, exactly. It's more of a reason of confronting forced morality, right? If you know that what you're doing is right, again, in this case, slavery, freeing slaves is morally correct, period. But what if it's not? Story-wise, again, this is not real life, this is story. This is a character who was born into it. It's the only life she's ever known. She is, air quotes, yeah, turn around and vomit. Yeah, no. Dude! Oh god, don't get me started. What was it? That fucking... Oh god. Ragnarok something. Not... Oh my god. It was the worst isekai a while ago. What was that god-awful... Master of Ragnarok. That was it. That was the fucking garbage. It does, man. Like, I don't deny that there are stories that you can be told about that, right? But almost every single fucking one. And what's worse, it's not usually seen as a bad thing. Which, again, I'm being a fucking hypocrite here, because like I'm saying, I've written a character, and this is the last one, by the way. I've written a character about that. Where she's in a setting that, and I have done everything in my power to make that setting as soft as I can involve, you know? Where, again, it's, I know it's differentiation without a difference, but it's, and again, this is in setting. They are very, 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 very firm on this difference. It's indentured servitude, not slavery, which it's like, that's the same fucking thing. But they will argue that to their blue in the face. But, and so the question that I'm trying to confront with that character, with that segment of that story, is what do you do when, okay, so it's morally correct. Distinction without a difference. Thank you. Yes, this is why you're the archivist. But the question becomes in that bit of the story, what do you do? What is it? Stopping. My brain's a little fried from just talking almost nonstop for 3 hours. Freeing slaves is a moral good, unquestionable. No one would argue that. So then you get this character who is indentured to a genuinely good person. The guy takes care of everyone around him. He is an upstanding member of his community, genuinely, and I like not sarcastically at all. I don't know if my voice carries over the transfers, so. But he is a genuinely upstanding member of his community. He's not doing anything illegal. He's taking care of people. He's helping. And the hero gets to this town, gets to this city, sees that it's run by slaves, right? Not run by slaves, but has slaves, has indentured servitudes. And immediately does what heroes do. It's like, I'll defeat you all. I'll destroy this city. You're free, everybody. And meanwhile, this character who saw this person as a father figure is now just sitting in the rubble of her city, of her life, completely lost. Because it's kind of like when prisoners get out for the first time in 30 years, what do I do? I don't know what to do. And to be clear, it's made clear that she's had thousands of opportunity to get herself out of it. She's chosen not to. This is the life that she is happy in. She is comfortable in. And she's been violently kicked out of it. Her entire culture has just been burned down around her because it was an evil culture. And it's like, that's what I'm trying to make people kind of face in that. Which is not a true moral that I want to teach. It's more of a thought experiment. Just something that it's like, what would you do? Because obviously, any good person goes, no, slavery bad. Stop. Destroy that. Get rid of it. But then what about the lives you leave behind? The people who were genuinely happy. Not even harmed. Not they were tricked into being happy. They were healthy. They were happy. They were taken care of. Are you still doing good? Forcing a good action. It is an unquestionably good action. But should you force it? And it's not something I have an answer for. Like, I'm not writing this to say, yes, this is the correct answer, this is the way to do things. No, it's just something I'm trying to leave open-ended. Because that's the kind of things I like to write in my stories, is I want people to think about it. I want people to... Not kind of, because the story does... She becomes a main character where she does, reintegrate into society, does start to learn how to live her own life. But there's always this bit in the back of her mind. Yeah, there you go. It's what's your follow-up plan? Yeah, because she always has in that back of her mind, and it is kind of doing the reincarnated as a slime thing, where it's a story taking place from the eyes of the air quotes villains. And yeah, she always has this thing in the back of her mind of just, I was genuinely happy there. no one was being hurt. That's no one was being hurt. Why did you hurt those people? Why did you take that away from us? And it's yeah. I am of the firm belief, okay? There is no topic. Yeah, no, and I don't want to do that. Like, I like that. I do like it as a gag. I do like that as a shock to the system moment. But you can't stop there. You have to keep going. And I do want, because I'm honestly thinking about taking this from a story and turning it into a game, because RPG Maker has announced their next project is going to be a 2.5D RPG Maker, and I literally hit the William Dafoe meme of, you can't do this to me! I thought I quit just when I was out. Exactly, you have to keep walking when you cross that bridge. So I might turn it into a game instead. And I've been wanting to make a game again for a long time, so I might do that. And in that I do want to. Yeah, right, Shadow. Like as soon as I was like, no, I'm out, I'm done. Every time a new RPG Maker comes out, I buy it. I swear to myself I'm gonna finish a project. I get like 3 towns in and I quit. And then I saw that 2.5D. You know what? Fuck it. We got a few minutes. Let's pop that up. No, leave that on. No, not the mods. Not the mods. Here we are. Okay. I know! Honestly, same here, BB. At some point, there's so many stories and so many mediums I want to touch. You can! Let's see. Here we are. Hush for a minute. I'm going to turn this back up. This is only a 1 minute, so we're going to take a quick look at this. And then I'll give you guys over to Matriarch. So apparently Gacha Games are the new people that have RPG Maker. God, this is such a nostalgia trip for me, because I've used every single one of these programs. Look at this. This is so good. I do think that fire needs some work, but... Yeah, exactly. Mode 7! So, yeah, as soon as I saw that, I hit the Willem Dafoe. You can't do this to me! But we don't have a release date, so I'm not going to sit here and go, I'm not making it until that comes out, because that's just a fucking excuse. We all know it. But, I take this stream as an abject fucking failure. But no, it probably wasn't that bad. I'm uncomfortable with being the center of attention for so long, you know? Let's see. Oh, wow, Matriarch has gotten pretty far. Well done. So. Yeah, the point is, I do want to have one of the heroes party join the player characters. Yeah, exactly. It is fun. I'm trying to get used to the idea that people might actually be interested in coming to a stream that doesn't have gameplay. Even though I'm also not so stupid as to think that the only reason people are coming is for the gameplay. y'all can find better sources of that, you know. So it's boosting my ego by destroying my ego. In any case, thank you for coming, and sorry for the lip smacks. I hear it. Ugh. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. I do appreciate you guys sharing this bit of my past and listening to me run my fucking mouth for 3 hours. So, let's see. Head over to Matriarch. Let her know I sent you back her way. And actually, why am I doing that? I always just do that when I can just link the actual video. Or the actual stream. There we go. So thank you, everybody, for coming. I do not know what I'm doing next week. I know we're finishing up Shadow Hearts, and that's about it. So you guys will figure it out. You guys will know what I know. So take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Thank you again for coming. And brush your damn teeth. And as always, remember, stay golden. Bye.